I just have to say that bits of this video may seem a bit weird with the audio because I was having to mute my audio and blur out text of somebody who didn't want to be mentioned in this video. So if anything seems out of point or out of focus, that's why. There was never an answer, just more and more questions. It was a damn goose chase from the start. Every corner we turned, we could trust less and less people. Our story starts November 24th, 2022, with one message. Before we dive into this rabbit hole, a bit of lore is necessary. Absalom is a smaller YouTuber who isn't just a zombies YouTuber, but has done quite a lot for the community. Some notable finds of his include the Spork Knife, the Voyage of Despair doll cipher, Don't Freeze on Tog, and the Jack and Box upgrade on the Darkest Shore. Now, I, being a big fan of the zombie series, stumbled upon one of his most popular videos a while back, about all the current leads and unsolved side Easter eggs. This then led me to his Discord, where I began getting into sulfur siphoning for a short while. Of course, me being me, and not some cipher genius, it was a short period where I solved nothing. I remained in the Discord, poking my head in every now and then just to check if anybody had any leads on anything, when our faithful day of November 24th arrived. On this day, a new person joined the Discord, with a photo and a question. The question read as, "Hello, has this been solved? We know the empty book that after you shoot the crow on Voyage of Despair, it reveals a cipher. Could this be the same? We know that there are 9 unfound ciphers, but has been solved, except 2, so..." A bit of a confusing message, yes, but what it's in reference to is another book on Voyage of Despair that was also open and had a cipher in it. He assumed that this book followed the same rule due to it being open and just laying there, and he had questioned if a cipher had been found in it or not. A friend of Absalom responded to his question with confusion due to there being no evidence of this being a thing. In the end, nothing really came out of it until almost a whole month later, on October 18th, 2022. Now, originally I was going to give credit where credit is due. I would show his name and his profile picture in photos, and I would say his name when mentioned to him, but at the end of the video, you'll see why I don't want to. Now, he came back and said that he had talked to somebody who had decompiled the BO4 scripts before, known as Sirius. He said he would try to talk more to him to see if he could find any more leads due to this already dead Easter egg hunting community. A few arguments and agreements here and there, and he came back with news of finding something about the level 2 hammer on IX. Nothing really ever came out of this until our biggest day, October 22nd, 2022. One slightly mocking message, and a video that was 12 seconds long. The first certified lead on an Easter egg in 6 months. The last one, conveniently enough, being Absalom's find on the Jack in the Box upgrade for Darkest Shore. He showed his obvious excitement, and we did too. We wished him luck with his find and waited. The next day, October 23rd, people had a few questions. It wasn't uncommon for people to try to mess with Absalom, so a few questions were in order. The main two being, is this a visual glitch, and can you recreate it? The short summary of a 2-paragraph of messages, he could indeed recreate it, but wanted to keep it secret for now, just so that he could have the credit. This is rather strange due to Absalom having a pretty good reputation of crediting anybody who helps him. Even if somebody just gives him an idea on something, he'll probably credit them. This was even stranger because he wanted it to only go on the Absalom channel when it was solved, so him not telling Absalom anything at all made it even stranger. The next most important thing in this message, though, was a hint of how to do the Easter egg. There was a method to consistently spawn the gladiator, apparently. It's weird to explain, but basically, you could do the second half where you spawn the gladiator anytime you wanted, but if you didn't have the fireballs lit, he wouldn't be on fire. After a while of waiting, he then sent in a ton of photos and videos to prove even further that yes, this is real and not a visual glitch. After a while of talking, he sent one more message. I was thinking I should reveal to you the step needed for him, but as a cipher you guys have to decode. Lol. I want to be like Blundell, let's face it, it's more fun that way. But only after the real reward gets found. But like I promised, if I don't find any leads and get sick of this Easter egg, which I am currently, I will reveal it, don't worry. Slightly worrying, but it's just a joke, right? 11:41 p.m.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
a single message reading, "It's finally done. Goodbye, IX, and goodbye, everyone. I shall leave you with this. It's more fun this way, if you are capable of solving it." And whatever the hell that is at the end, which I believe to be Greek for good luck. Right under this message, A single image with the fire gladiator and a cipher. He then promptly left the Discord right after sending this. My one response being, this guy. At the time, I had been streaming Dead Space, so when I did see this, it was already midnight. Absalom had been already working on this, so I joined a Discord call with them and tried to help as best as I could. They did a quick rundown of everything they had already found so that I would be caught up. 1. There was a key behind fire bowls. 2. The Morse code at the top said, "You will fail, it is mine and mine alone." 3. There's a homunculus in the top left. And 4. There's a symbol of Raw on the very right side. The blur on the screen is me blurring his name, but don't worry, I'll tell you how to figure out who did this soon enough. We spent hours that night trying different ciphers, different parts of the text, from the first half to the second half to all of it. We tried different keys, but in the end, nothing was to show for except what I would consider to be a grade A meme that I made. When I say we spent hours working on it, I do mean we spent hours working on it. But a few of the hours were also just kind of talking about video games and stuff. But we still tried about every possible thing we could have thought of. Which was also very difficult because Absalom has a job. I don't know anything about ciphers basically, so I was also researching ciphers while trying to figure out how to solve them at the same time. The next day, October 24th, was pretty uneventful. The most interesting things that happened was my Wi-Fi went out when trying to recap about what was happening. We assumed that he had somehow hacked into my Wi-Fi and kicked me off for that day. The second most interesting thing was I found out the photo of Raw wasn't actually of Raw. See, Raw has a bird head in all of his drawings. But the more I looked at it, the less of a bird head it looked like. It actually looked like a tiger or a lion. So I did some research, and I found out that Raw had a daughter who had a lion head. The image is more closely related to her, but led us really nowhere because we learn she's the god of war, but also healing. And the staff she wields is the Staff of Ra, which we had already assumed we might have needed the Staff of Ra, but that led us really nowhere because it was just a big circle. A while later that night, Absalom and Univari joined me to look for even more. Absalom had found a lead at the bar where he worked at, though. He said that he had gone to the bar and put a bounty on the cipher for his customers to solve. This is where something of interest happened. The lead came from an old lady. She had asked to see the cipher and claimed to do the newspaper's crosswords every time it came out. When I tell you she got into it, I mean she got into it. She was writing down things in a notepad, checking the image, researching the game itself to see if she could find anything on it. Finally, she had to leave, but before she did, she asked Absalom to send her the photo, which he did, so she could work on it at home. Now, I don't know what that old lady saw in that image, but whatever she did, she wanted answers. After recounting us with these tales, we all got to work. We tried a few more ciphers, and we even hopped on games to go try to figure out anything we could do. I probably had the worst luck with finding homunculus due to being Xbox by myself, but after a while I finally got them and tried a few things. Absalom and were each on PlayStation, so they helped each other in the same match. What was suspicious though was that when everybody was ready and set up and was ready to hunt to the maximum of their potential, everyone got kicked offline. We assumed that he had not only gone after my Wi-Fi that day, but then the Black Ops 4 servers. On the next day, October 25th, Absalom discovered something critical. There was a key under IX we had missed. The same day as well, 2 people would join the Discord. One who went by Darkwing, and then finally, the man who had created the cipher and originally left had returned. I hadn't noticed this at first, but Darkwing was rather talkative, so I talked to him for a while. Sometime in the middle of our conversation, I randomly got a private DM from, "You know, I think this Darkwing guy is the Cipher dude's other account." Now, this wasn't just a baseless claim. We had a few pieces of evidence that led to this. 1. You can now see when somebody joined a Discord server and when their account was created. Darkwing had been created this day and joined the server this day. Number 2. Darkwing kept wanting us to focus our attention on the cipher. They were strangely energetic about trying to find out what this cipher told us, even though they had only just gotten here and had nothing to do with the story. My guess, it was a goose chase, and he was trying to buy time to make a video on it, or figure out the rest of the Easter egg if he hadn't already solved it. He agreed with me because this would give him time to solve the Easter egg if we were busy focusing on the cipher and not actually figuring it out ourselves. We realized we couldn't just share information we found out on the Discord anymore. We had to be a bit more private about it. We had to hide knowledge we knew in case this guy was watching us the whole time. October 26th. This day, I was completely drained. We had found nothing at all. No leads in the game, no leads in ciphers. We had nothing to go off. I basically didn't touch anything from this the entire day, until later I had streamed Dead Space that night, and as soon as I finished, I noticed I had a few messages from Absalom and they had done it. They had solved the cipher. The solved ciphertext read as, "Good luck finding the solution to the fireballs. I figured out what to do after the fire gladiator spawns, and the secret and the reward will forever be mine and mine alone. Even my friend I have not told what to do after the guy spawns. I shall be the only one who gets to enjoy the joy from all this, as I never gave up on it, unlike you all Muppets." And for those wondering how the cipher got solved, we simply used the Ubachi code, but used fireballs and IX in the same message as the keyword. So, you put in the entire text, get rid of IX and the slashes in the middle of the ciphertext, and the keyword is Fireball6. He also made a brand new Twitter account just to comment a single thing on Absalom's newest Twitter post, talking about how it's not always fun to be an Easter egg hunter. The biggest kick in the gut yet. Someone so pitiful, so alone, so needy for attention that they wouldn't even share a single ounce of information, like a kindergartner not wanting to share a toy. So, sadly, that's where the story ends for now. Absalom gave his take, and the trail went cold. If this video inspires you to go look for the Easter egg, good luck. The only thing I can say is that it might need homunculus, it might not. We really don't know what it does or doesn't need, because we don't know if we can trust anything this man has ever said. Now, I did say I'd give him credit where credit is due. If you would like to know who did make this cipher, all of this information is public on Absalom's Discord channel. So go, check it out, and if you want to see the messages, they're all there. And if you liked the video, like and subscribe.